The last two races, the last 60 laps of the season to decide the battles and build your legacy for Season 2. Welcome to the L2S community and the first part of the final showdown. I'm Seb Bauer, glad you're with us for the Brazil Grand Prix here tonight. Yes, race number 21 of 22. Just 2 races left to decide all the stuff that is needed to be decided. And one big thing. Maybe we will be able to crown our first L2S champion tonight in approximately 1.5 hours. We see official, he is already in the lobby and his main competitor, the Slayer, is so too. And yes, this is one thing we will have to have an eye on. But first I want to congratulate one guy, as we already have a champion of our Tier 2, just decided less than an hour ago. Would you rather? He doesn't just want to, he did it. Congratulations to you, mate, for the first Tier 2 champion of our ongoing season. Yes, he didn't win the race. He had a second place that was enough, as his main rival Jimmy O finished just 10th, I think. Something around that. But would you rather posted the hottest lap time posted in the qualifying? That was a wet quali, so the times might not be comparable. And yes, we have a bunch of topics to talk about. First, as always, let's have a look at the track and the rules we race in. The track is the Autodromo José Carlos Pache in Brazil, in Interlagos. That means something like between the lakes. The track is 4.3 kilometers of length, so one of the shorter ones. Features 15 turns, and the lap record is held by Valtteri Bottas in 2018. Sector 3 and Sector 1 is more or less one gigantic, huge DRS zone, just split in two halves with the Senna S turn combination. Sector 2 is a technical sector with medium and slow turns, and so full speed is definitely a topic you need to have if you want to be successful here in Brazil. Further, we could see some rain. Rain is always a topic in Sao Paulo, and the race of Tier 2 was dry, but the quali, as mentioned, was wet. We race with this assists. The traction control can be maximally on medium. We have a manual gearbox and a pit assist on, so when entering the pit lane you do not have to watch out, but you have to manually start after the tire change. And the rest of the rules, we have a 18 minutes qualifying followed by a 36 laps race. Equal car performances, of course, safety car and VSC, full damage, full dynamic weather, strict corner cutting. That will be a topic, definitely will be a topic. More actually the fact of exceeding track limits than really corner cuts, but there will be penalties. Manual race start, of course, full rules and flags. We do not have real teams, so not the real life car liveries, but multiplayer unique liveries, so it's a very colorful mixed grid. And yes, so let's have a look who has checked in for our race. Dean Cunha is here, of course, our host. Ian and Infamous, the two commentators. Well done in Tier 2. crowning our champion. Aces versus Kings. Today I found out, I realized that I was pronouncing your name wrong. I was always calling you a Viking, but you aren't a Viking, you are a king. I'm sorry for that. Chris Tam is here, the one who was the big competitor to Would You Rather in Tier 2 until he got promoted into Tier 1. Official is here, likewise to Slayer, Angry Orange, and Nick Agnola. That will be a topic. That's me, hello. And we should have 2 reserve drivers in for tonight. One of them is Laurentur, hello to you. And the second one, Royal Harvey. So we will have a full grid. Royal Harvey. One has opted for one of the new team icons from, what is it, Podium Pass Tier 3 or Tier 4? I don't know, just this is one of the newer icons. That's nice, that's nice. And yeah, so 2 reserves for tonight. We have a new season schedule. This is a big topic. The new season will start on February 11th, and we will have a short season 2 plus a short season 3. Each seasons will have 11 laps, 11 rounds, 11 races, and so altogether we reach a number of 22 races, and this is meant to be in a calendar schedule that collide the new one game. Further, we have a new feature, a Sunday community race. So L2S community is doing something for their participants. We already had the first community race last Sunday. We have a one-shot quali followed by a twice 25% race distances. So a lot of fun and just not the biggest competition, just racing the community members and, yes, as mentioned, having fun. We will be here in Brazil again on Sunday in the next community race. And first view goes out to the weather, of course, as we head into the pit lane. Fair weather, sunny weather, not a slightest cloud out there visible. That's how I would like to assume most of our drivers have prayed for. So I hear the first engine to be started. Let's have a look who is the first one going out on the track. Right in front of us, a Braun GP Legacy livery, I would like to say, but in the end he is not the first one on the track. Let's have a look who's the first one that is ruled on an outlap. Angry Orange, the Angry Orange in yellow. Well, it's not an orange color, it's really yellow. Oh, is it orange? Hard to say. Hard to say. Anyway, bit of a red part would be missing to imply that he's angry. Maybe a red helmet or something. Then he would really be the Angry Orange. Let's get in some more information. The lap data, of course. Let's have a look about the tires that I used. You know the rule, the top 10 have to start the race on the sets they qualified on. And Angry Orange doesn't even think about mediums. He jumps onto the softs already for his first shot. So as always, let's stay with him for his first hot lap try. This is the Senna S left, right, left combination, and then right again, the first DRS zone on this back straight, medium paced left-hander, double corner combination, followed by a short, long right-hander taken in full throttle, almost full throttle, here at the beginning of sector 2, and then two tight right-handers that look a lot like each other. First one followed by the second one, almost the same. Medium paced left-hander. This is the end of sector 2, and sector 3 starting here is more or less just acceleration and then pedal to the metal versus Slayer on outlap right now. I hope that things will clear up for me. Clear up for you. Speaking about picture quality. So guys, I think that everything is working again now. At least it all looks and sounds rather clean. Yeah, I've had some troubling message from the game that my internet connection was bad, even though it looked like everything was fine, at least for a moment, but I think it should be okay right now. But well, we didn't miss a lot. We have now seen official in after his first hot lap, he's on P5. He tried it on soft, while Slayer had his first hot lap posted on mediums. He is now in 12th. So yeah, I wanted to run down our overall standings and the ongoing battles that need to be decided. Let's maybe search for someone who's on a hot lap while I run it down for you. We have our championship duel, that's Official versus Slayer. And Official leads with 17 points. That means Slayer needs to finish in front of Official if he wants to cut into this gap, or the minimum target for Slayer must be to keep the gap under 25 points, so that he still has a chance, at least with some very much of luck, in the last race in Abu Dhabi then. The third ranked scientist is in no man's land, can't reach anyone back and forth, and he is inactive for today. Likewise, in a no man's land is Infamous in overall 4th. Welcome back, Chris Tam, meanwhile. And then we see a battle for P5, and that is Nick Agnola versus the Angry Orange, who I just mentioned when he posted his formerly lap time, his 4th fastest of the quali. And he is running against Nick Agnola. I'm searching his name. Ah, in P2, there he is. I should have started on top and not in the bottom to search him. So here we are with Nick Agnola sitting on his rear wing. Nick Agnola versus Angry Orange. P2 versus P5 here at the moment. Those two guys are within 5 points. Nick Agnola leading with 5 points over Angry Orange. And this will be an interesting battle for these two races left. And then we have a battle for P7. For 7th, that's Dean Cunha, Ian MC, and Aces versus Kings. Those three guys are within 12 points. So Dean Cunha in the best situation to defend his P7. He cannot attack P6 anymore. Best place to finish for him is 7th. And he needs to finish in front of Ian and Aces versus Kings. And then we see some more midfield battles like Landobot versus the Golden Pickle. Golden Pickle now in 2nd, while Lando is sitting in 13th. So definitely pro Pickle at the moment. And a threesome, Sam Iham versus Bellox versus Mark Ainley. Sam Iham is right now 17th. Then Bellox and Mark Ainley, Bellox 15th and Ainley 12th. So you can see those guys are really in the midfield battle, and that's just where they are situated at the moment. And a few more battles are going on, a few more could be formed for our last race. All of that information you will always find on our Twitter page. That is twitter.com/L2S Racing. So we are now at a minute mark of 6 minutes left. So everyone who's in the pits right now will probably just be able to do one more shot. If you want to have 2 more shots, you should already be on an outlap right now, and that is only John Bunter, and he needs to, because he has not posted a time yet. Then we see Nick Agnola, who is still on a hot lap but invalidated that. Angry Orange in 10th, no, he's on an in-lap. Landobot, he's on an in-lap too in his very colorful car here. Chappie, one of our admins, is, let's see what he's doing here in Sector 2. In the Arrow livery, I know that very well. I've had a few of these kind for myself. Not improving himself. Slayer needs a hot lap, but he had invalidated his time. So he will not be able to start on mediums. He needs to come into the pits now and get a fresh set of softs. And then he's driving it to the end, so he wants to try it again on this half and half livery. That's how it's called. Reminds me a bit of Two-Face from Batman. Let's stay with him for another moment and see. Now he is finally improving himself. Ooh, very far to the outside there. Almost invalidated the time again. But the game says it is still over this lap. Let's stay with him here in Sector 2, as it's very important for him to qualify in a good position against Official. He's improving himself by 2.5 seconds, 2.5 tenths. But that's not really much. That would just giving a push ahead to maybe P14, somewhere around Mark Ainley, and a bit further he's in P11. P11 for Slayer. Eight and a half tenths behind Chris Tam, and he this is dangerous clock management for Slayer, and I think that he knows it, because if he wants to run again on softs, that will be very close with the clock time. And if he would finish on P11, this would be totally for nothing that he qualified on mediums, because if he starts on P11 he would have free tire choice anyway in the race. So a lot of guys still sitting in the pits. The first guys are now on out laps again. Laurentior, Ian, Castelfrance, Dean Cunha, Lando Bot on a hot lap. Maybe is Chappie? No, not anymore. So he's finished. His quali is over. Maximally P13 for him. Aces Kings in a totally black car. He has just started his hot lap. I am sure, I know that he is capable of more than what he showed thus far. Oh, he's not on a hot lap. He is on a second out lap, a second lap to warm up his tires, so to say. So meanwhile, Dean Cunha is on a hot lap now. Has put up a new livery, still in toxic green and black for him. Ian on a hot lap. Let's have a look what he is doing. He in sector 2. Ooh, almost spun on the exit of the turn. That has costed time. Yep, no improvement for him. Frenzy is out. He will be in last. So for the moment, where is official? Only in 8th. So both our main contenders are not in a good position. Slayer has stayed in the pits, so Slayer is not able to improve himself anymore. Official just starting his hot lap now. Let's jump ahead a little bit. What are the other guys doing? Golden Pickle in validation. Laurentior just started his hot lap. Castelfrance just started it likewise. Here is the end of sector 1. No improvement for him. What does Chris Tam do? 1/10 of improvement. The guy that came up from tier 2. No! His lap time is invalid. Oh, no improvement for him. So, who else might be in a pole run? Nick Agnola is maybe not. No improvement after sector 1. Royal Harvey looks slow here in the pits, so we can focus on official. What will he do? Is he able to push for the pole, or at least just a bit of gap behind to his rival Slayer? 2.5 tenths of improvement, but this is only the 6th fastest lap, and I think we are already through. Was rather quick here in the end. Golden Pickle might still be on a hot lap, improving himself by half a tenth. That doesn't sound much, but that would push him ahead by 3 places. That would push him ahead. No, on P3 by 2 places. On P3 for Golden Pickle. Did he break? Did Golden Pickle break just shortly before the timing line? Interesting. Golden Pickle decided to stay in P5, and we will finish the quali with the Pickle. And yes, congratulations to our qualifying pro. Chris Tam adds another pole position to his account. Finishes before Nick Agnola in 2nd. Castelfrance, strong result in 3rd. Laurentior on 4. 5 Golden Pickles, 6 officials, 7th Royal Harvey, 8 19 Kunya, 10th for Angry Orange, 11 Slayer Infamous on 12, 13 goes to Landebot, 14 Chappie, 15 Aces Kings, 16 Mark Ainley, 17 Ballox, 18 John Bunter, 19 is Sam Iham, and last, with no time set, Frenzy. Yeah, so interesting qualifying. Interesting the fact that Slayer is only in P11 and official, his rival, is P6. That's not the best position either. And again, first view goes out to the weather. It looks cloudy, overcast, so this could turn into a rainy race. And I will be with you in just a moment. So the session timer has ticked down and we do not see an installation lap. We will just jump into the race. The Brazilian Grand Prix is on. Good start from Nick Agnola. I think a little bit better than Chris Tam. Yes, he is already attacking him in the Senna S, and in the background everything went rather smoothly. No debris flying off anywhere, I think. So very clean start by everyone. Here we see the tire strategy. So this will be a one-stop race in case there isn't rain. Oh, safety car, and there is a crash! Crash in the background, lot of debris flying off. Couldn't see who it was, but we have a virtual safety car, and Slayer was one of... Oh. This blasts his championship chances, but his front wing seems intact. Let's have a look about the position changes. Slayer and Landebot. Landebot was the colorful car that was involved in this crash in turn 3. Yeah, he has a little bit of front wing damage. Left side end plate missing and some winglets. So first tire change for him. Tire change and nose change, of course. And is this Sam Iham? Ooh, Sam Iham was slow there, and we have raindrops on the camera. Raindrops. Interesting. Just when I wanted to have a look at the tires that I used for the start, top 10 is obvious and clear. They had to start on the qualifying tire, and Sam Iham has just retired, so this pit stop is worth nothing. What's Landebot doing? He stayed with mediums, so no quick and bold change for him onto Inters early. How crazy is that? Race start in dry, and before finishing the first lap we have the first drops. That will be interesting for the rest of the race. So this is our leader Nick Agnola being chased by Chris Tam, who has just posted the fastest lap time, and we come right in the perfect moment to see probably the first DRS attack. We see 3 guys already in the pits. Maybe one of them will jump on Inters. Golden Pickle is out! Golden Pickle has crashed. There he is. Lost his car on acceleration. Ooh, and a wild maneuver there from Slayer to get out of the way to not crash into the wrecked Pickle. Second virtual safety car already, just virtual, no real. And yes, we have our first drivers on Inters. That's Mark Ainley versus Aces versus Kings. I'm struggling now with your name. And Landobot. No, Landobot is in the pits. Royal Harvey, Aces Kings, Mark Ainley are the guys on Inters. We have still a VSC, so it's hard to say if they are faster or other way around, how much time they lose. They have to mind not to burn out the Inters for maybe a lap or two until it's wet enough, until they will be able to run circles around the other guys ahead. And official with the first penalty of the day, and that's a big one. A big one. Drive-through penalty for our number one championship contender. Oh, that is evil. And we have a lot of pit stops, and I suppose that every one of them will leave the pits on Inters then. Yes, everyone has stopped for fresh Inters. Let's see what and when our leaders will do. Let's stay with them for a moment. Nick and Chris Tam. Chris Tam in the comfortable situation that he can watch Nick and just react on what he's doing, but as it seems they are literally swimming here around in sector 2, so I suppose both of them will just enter the pits right here. Very cautiously the acceleration from Tom here, and Nick ahead doesn't seem a lot better. Let's stay with those two guys for a moment. Casto France has just overtaken two persons behind them on Inters, and they come into the pits here. Let's still stay with them. Maybe Casto France will be the leader after their each pit stops. 14 seconds away. Pit stop delta is not too long here. Yes, Casto France in the lead. And oh, official, just the next penalty. Official, I suppose he wanted to serve his drive-through and then picked up another 5 seconds for being too fast in the pit lane. Ooh, that's not a good race for our number one contender for the championship. And Slayer is smiling. Slayer, after having this Havoc first race, being almost dead last, and now he's in 9th already, while Official is getting closer to the bottom of the field. And this reminds me so much of this World Championship final, Alonso versus Vettel of 2012. This monstrously great race with these tons of chaos and a spin of Vettel early and pit stop faults by the team and whatever went on, and still in the end he was the champion. But well, let's focus on what is going on here in our virtual world. Casto France in the lead and rather comfortable 4.5 seconds after just 6 laps. That's quite good. While Tam and Agnola are more or less close to each other again. Angry Orange and Nick Agnola are close. Those two guys who are fighting for P5. Nick Agnola is up by 5 points. And Angry Orange would at the moment cut into this little gap by acquiring 3 more points at the moment. What else is interesting? Chappie in 5th, crawled up a lot of positions. Ballox in 8th. Laurenture only 12th. He had a good quali, our reserve driver. And more or less threw it all away very early. Infamous on 13, Ian 15. So those two guys who just had an intense scouting session on rainy situations. Yeah, well, didn't learn a lot from Tier 2. Official then in 16th, and I think he still has a penalty to serve. A +5 for him. Likewise to Frenzy, +3 for Chappie, and twice +3 for Angry Orange. So he needs to watch out, as he is maybe under pressure soon by his rival in our championship standings. Let's stay with Nick for a moment, at least as long as we can still see what's going on. As long as the spray isn't too evil to see what's happening. Chris Tam is even closer to him behind, and then Chappie lost a bit in the middle sector, but this three-man fighting group will be interesting. And this is for the podium, the positions 2, 3 and 4. No DRS of course anymore due to the wet condition. Nick Agnola attacking Angry Orange on the inside. And Angry Orange still there, wheel to wheel action. Now a battle lane for Agnola again, and he got it. At least for the moment. Agnola has troubles on acceleration, and that brings in Angry Orange and even Chris Tam. And Tam on the inside almost took both of them. And now he did. Chris Tam overtaking the Orange and Nick Agnola at once. Wow, great maneuver from Chris Tam. Great racing action and great car control here in these slippery conditions. And maybe if Chris Tam continues in this strength, in this form, maybe he will be one of our new championship contenders in the upcoming season. And there's just yet another attack. The two fighting guys, Agnola and Orange, not battling for second, but now for third. Chris Tam already pulled away by 1.5 seconds. Ow! Chappie, the next one in to attack. Angry Orange seems to have troubles in these conditions. The Orange does not like water. Oh, and has internet connection troubles now. Just like I did, a little bit of Angry Orange is ghosted here. The CPU will overtake his car for a few laps, and I hope that he will be able to enter soon again, because this is of course not how we want the racing action to be decided. So this is now the battle between Chappie and Agnola for the podium. Chappie had a little bit of a mistake, was running wide in one of the turns and seems unable to attack Agnola, at least in the nearer future. With one eye I'm always watching what our championship contenders are doing. Slayer is still stuck on P9, and likewise Stuck is official on 16th. So funny situation, if the race would be over here after 1/3, Slayer would just make up 2 points. He could not really take advantage of the bad position official is in. And with just 2 points, he'd decrease the gap to 15 points for the last race. Oh, there's a pit stop from Viking. I said it again, I'm sorry. From Aces versus Kings, of course. And he has stopped for softs. Okay. Has that been a mistake by his pit crew, or is this really on purpose? I have no idea. You can see the spray on the car ahead from Landebot. And ooh. Looks like walking on eggshells. You can see how much Landebot is pulling away. But the rain has stopped. The rain has stopped, and he tries how good his car works as a mower. And picked up 10 seconds penalty at once for mowing the grass here in Interlagos, and did it just again. Will he get another penalty? Not at the moment, but I think it's obvious that this tire change was too early. And Dean Cunha did just the same. Cunha but stopped for hard, so he will finish the race on this set. If Aces is already struggling so much on softs, how will this go and turn out for Cunha on hards? Let's stay with him for a moment. Let's see if he's the second black and green lawn mower here. Have a look how cautiously he needs to accelerate. I think that these stops were a lap or two too early. They will lose a lot of time, both Aces, likewise to Cunha. Cunha seems a little bit faster, but only because he is barely able to put his car on the track. Fast looks different. And all that has brought Slayer up into 6th and Official in 13. Ian on wheel-to-wheel action against Infamous, the two Tier 2 commentators, battling it out in just alike-looking liveries. Ian here on the inside line and pushed ahead. We see yellow in sector 2. That's Bellox. No, not Bellox. Nope. Definitely not Bellox. He is just on the pit exit on fresh mediums. And the DRS is enabled, so we are officially now back to dry conditions. And let's see what our leaders will do. Right when I say it, Casto France into the pits, Chris Tam into the pits, Nick Agnola into the pits. And Chris Tam got 5 seconds speeding in the pit lane. Chappie, Royal Harvey in the pits. The Royal Harvey will probably overtake Chappie in the pits, as Chappie had a penalty to serve. Slayer pitting Ainley. Everyone is doing it now. The question is just which tires they will use. They will use now. Slayer on softs, Ainley, Laurentio mediums. Can you run to the end of the race on a fresh set of mediums here? That is the big question. On softs definitely not. On hards definitely yes. And that Chris Tamti, Nola and Chappie and this guy here, Royal Harvey. Likewise to Cunha, already 1 lap earlier, but he lost a few positions due to the too early stop. Royal Harvey, don't throw your car away on acceleration here. Can you go to the checkered flag on this set of mediums? We have, how much is it? We are almost at the midway mark of the race. Well, we have seen some drivers in Tier 2 who went on mediums for 20 laps. We have still 23 laps to go, so It might work. It might work in case there isn't a safety car. And yeah, that will bring us some totally mixed tire situations here. And that will be interesting. We see Ian against Cunha. He looks a lot faster on his mediums. Cunha has used fresh hards and he will attack him here at the end of the DRS zone. Oh, and John Bunter is in too. John Bunter on fresh softs. The fastest available tire, but cannot attack Cunha already here. We'll have to wait until the next DRS zone. No, he should have been waiting and not maybe ruining his front wing on Cunha's rear. So yes, we will see totally mixed tire situations, and John Bunter has to Cunha here. He was impatient, didn't want to wait for the next DRS zone, and he needs to make his fresh softs work. So what else is going on? Official just overtaken Ballox here. Official pushed ahead in 12th. Slayer meanwhile in 5. For 5th you get 10 points. That means Slayer would be only behind Official by 7 points left for the last race, but Slayer needs to stop again. While Official will, as far as I know him, he will try to run this set of mediums. So, what else is going on? Official already close to Cunha, so maybe our host will will lose another position just at the end of this lap. Let's stay with those two guys for the moment. No, we don't. We have Slayer doing against Chappie. Slayer, who has just posted the fastest lap of the race here in the DRS zone against Chappie. Chappie defending himself, Slayer on the outside. Oh, and yes, that worked. Worked rather easily. Slayer he must be aggressive on this set of softs because stop again. Official. Alright, and the right point of time as he pushes ahead Dean Cunha, who almost ran into Official's rear tire there, but it went well. So who else is in a possible attacking situation? Cunha is in the DRS window still of Official, but I suppose that Official will just run away from him on the better tire, and Official looks a bit faster than John Bunter, even though Bunter is using the softs ahead of him. We might see an attack soon by Laurentio against Mark Ainley in the intermediate sector, while Mark Ainley is closing up to Royal Harvey likewise, so both the two races will be DRS equipped, and so will not be an advantage for Laurentio. In the last position we had a change. Aces dropped the position to Angry Orange. Oh, a new fast lap of the race. Laurentio. Not bad. Everyone, both the drivers are now 7/10 behind Now it's 8/10 behind the one ahead. So no attack, but both of them are closing up to Royal Harvey. And Official is close to John Vanta and overtook him here in the DS zone. Just at the very end we were able to see how he pushed ahead. And so he is back in the top 10, back in the points. But still far behind Slayer. I suppose that Slayer would even stay in front of Official after his needed second stop, or actually third stop then. Oh, there's someone being slow here. Was it Viking? Ah, I guess it's Viking again, I'm sorry. Aces, of course. He's ghosted. He's ghosted, so this could be the end of his race. At the halftime mark. And here's our leader again. Didn't have a chance to show him a lot. He's racing in something like a mistake-free race, I would like to call it, thus far. And at the moment, he would be the deserved winner. And Slayer has pushed in 4th position on his softs, 4 seconds away from the podium. He will, at least at the moment, not be able to push for the podium, as there's still one stop imminent. But a good race for him after a not that good qualifying. Good race for him at the moment. And we have a fighting group here. This is the fight for 5th position in the end. So 5th Chappie, followed by Mark Ainley, Royal Harvey and Laurentior, all of them DRS equipped, filmed and brought to us from the TV of Laurentior, who will close up when those guys ahead are fighting each other. Ooh, a little bit of lock tire from Mark Ainley, and I can smell some winglet salad already. If those guys hold up each other, that would just help Official in the end. But he's far away, he's 17 seconds away from those guys. So as long as there is no safety car, I think Official's chances to grab more points will be very limited. And attack ahead, Chappie against Harvey. Yes, it worked. Both DRS equipped here. Royal Harvey on the inside line, wheel to wheel action. And he got it done for the moment, but this is all but over. Still 16 laps left to decide this battle. All of them can go through. Oh, late break by Chappie. All of these guys can go through on this used set of tire, and Laurentior is close again. So it looks like Laurentior is closer to attack than Chappie could attack Royal Harvey. Harvey, who is over a second now behind Mark Ainley, so no DRS for the Royal one. And wheel to wheel, Laurentior passes him on the inside. Yes, no DRS for Chappie. That's why it looked so easy. Now a bit of a braking issue for him. Royal Harvey ahead. Corner cutting through the Senna S. And ahead, oh no, this is lapping maneuver against the still ghosted Angry Orange. Angry Orange is, he's out, so This is it for him today, and his competitor for overall P5th, Nick Agnola, is running in 3rd. So looks like a decision for Nick Agnola, at least for today, giving him a better position into the last race in the fight for 5th. And Laurentio is close to Royal Harvey. Now slipped a bit on acceleration, and that made it possible for Royal Harvey to sneak away, at least sneak away enough that Laurentio cannot attack him again. Isn't it a cool up and down here in the battle for P6 and 7? Meanwhile, Chris Tam got closer to 3.5 seconds the gap, so he closed it by approximately a second in the last 5-6 laps, and that even though he's on the slower tire. So as it seems like there is no attack about to come up, let's have a short look about the penalty situation. In the lead, Chris Tam, 2 seconds more of penalty against Castor France, but he would even be overtaken by Nick Agnola in the end, as Nick, Laurentio, Official, John Bunter and Landerbot are the only drivers without a penalty. Then we see a bunch of +3s. Castor France, Slayer, Mark Ainley. Oh, there's a battle going on. Laurentio, wheel to wheel here against Royal Harvey on a uncommon position, and Harvey stayed ahead, at least until the next TRS zone, it seems. Laurentio always a bit too aggressive maybe on the acceleration. That costed a little bit, and races Vikings now finally he's out, and we have a safety car. Interesting. Aces versus Kings, who was ghosted, so that means that the ghost caused a safety car phase. Yeah, well, interesting. Every day you see something new and learn to it. And everyone beyond P6 was able to pit. The leaders were not. Fresh softs for Royal Harvey, Laurentio, Chappie, Ian, Dean Cunha, John Vanta, Bellox, Infamous, Landerbot, Angry Orange. All of them in the pits. This is a big disadvantage for our leaders now. Big disadvantage. Slayer, who was in need of another pit stop, he would have been the one who needed to come in, but he didn't. He was already beyond the pit entry. Let's stay with him for a moment. Now all our leaders pit, of course. They need to react, they need to get fresh softs to be competitive after the restart. Let's stay with Slayer for a moment and see where he will be after his stop. Fresh softs, of course. Oh, interesting. And Slayer will be in third. Slayer on the podium for the moment. Interesting. Didn't expect that. because of the fact, yeah, he was the big loser. Chris Tam was the big loser in this situation because he shared a pit crew with, I think, Nick Agnola or Castro France, and therefore he had to wait, and he had to wait so long. But not only Slayer overtook him, but Royal Harvey and Laurentio did likewise. Oh, that's evil. That's evil for him. So pretty much a bad luck race day for Chris Tam, and it just doesn't develop any better now. Mark Ainley, interesting. Mark Ainley has opted for mediums. Mark Ainley does not finish the race on softs like everyone else. This will be a big disadvantage for him, as the field is very close now. A look at the penalty situation. I think I will just leave the penalties on, as almost everyone is running on the same tire anyway. And yeah, it's a similar situation that we had in Tier 2, because we had a late safety car in Tier 2 likewise. If you have so many penalties, a late safety car that denses the field really kicks in double for the penalty seconds. Oh, don't crash, don't overtake on the yellow. Oh no, just that happened with Slayer ahead. Slayer now 8 second penalty likewise to Royal Harvey as they collided on the safety car. And I remember a new rule that were put in during this season, and that says, I'm not sure, I have to read it up, I'm not sure if warning or if Slayer a quali ban for the next race if you collide the safety car. There are some strict rules that were laid out midway through the season. I Monza race. Ooh, this this be a big problem in the end. Have some big aftermath for Slayer. But well, at the moment, let's focus on the restart. Safety car is in. Castro France is now dictating the pace in the last sector. John Butter collided on the safety car too. When will Castro France pick up the pace? Oh, another collision! And lot of chaos going on here at the restart for Slayer. Oh no, Slayer, he's now at 13 seconds of penalty and lost 3 positions. Oh. What did I say? I just had in mind the 2012 season finale in Brazil, Vettel versus Alonso, and this race was just as much of havoc for both of our championship contenders. And official here in T8 is battling, but right now rather defending than attacking against close, and just then main rival, and he just needs to stay in this position. And then oh, there was some debris flying. I think it was from behind, as all of those guys had to brake really hard here for turn 14. Laurentio against Slayer, and he's pushed Slayer into the pit entry. Slayer in the pits. I have no idea if that was really on purpose or if he was pushed there by Laurentio. So it really smells like